So obviously I wasn't gonna get the same tattoo again. And at that point I just like I'd already driven 2 hours to get there. And I just started sweating. And I was like, oh my god, this is so bad. But I explained the situation to her and she was like, alright, send me the references for what you thought you were gonna get. So I did, and then she spent about an hour drawing them up, which is, it was pretty quick, honestly, like, pretty impressive. But, yeah, so my appointment had really originally been for 4 hours, I think, but it took about, like, from the time that I walked into the door to the time I was sitting down in the chair, I think that took about, like, 2 hours. So I ended up only having enough time to get the lower heart tattoo, the cross section, that I already had, and so now, long story short, I'm going back to get the top half that we didn't have time to tattoo the first time around. I drove the first time, but I don't really like driving long distances that much, due to some like low medical problems that I have that make it unpleasant to be behind the wheel for that long. Also sorry that my windshield is so dirty. But yeah, so I decided that this time we would just take the train there, and what we're really gonna do is take the train to a station that's like 10 miles away, and then take an Uber from the station to the actual tattoo studio, because where it's located, it's in Tenafly, New Jersey, and that's north of New York City, so all the public transport, like all the trains, all the buses, to get to Tenafly, you have to go into New York City, like you have to detour and go into the city and then back out, which just seemed like a pain in the ass, along with the additional pain in the ass of driving. So
The guy has a cool hat. I think I know one. Cool hat guy? Where? Oh yeah.
is that was cool.
No, hit the button, what the fuck? Why? Why not work? You're gonna tell me we're gonna get trapped in this elevator? I cannot deal with this. No.
I was already like planning what we'd do if we got trapped in the elevator and how we'd make it to the appointment, but
Train station is sponsored by Coca-Cola.
I just ended up like punching the button really hard and then it lit up and we went down. So I was just like, this trip hasn't even started and it's already going wrong. Also, who rides a mini motorcycle on the sidewalk? This isn't like my first time riding on the train or anything. It's probably like my third time. It's like a nice ride. It's like an hour and 45 minutes. So this of course was literally like at the beginning of September, or I guess yeah, September 15th. So it took me a while to actually get to doing the voiceover for this video, but obviously it was warmer out then than it is now. I always liked how this train station looked. A little outfit check. Was looking cute. Yeah, I think the architecture is nice of this train station. Kinda random, but it looks cool, so. Whenever I go to the train, it always does this. It always says the train is boarding, and it's not even there yet. Like the first 2 times I rode the train, that really like scared me.
Providence, Route 128, Boston Back Bay. Passengers should proceed to track 2.
There's our mans. JK. I like that.
Yeah, so it really like weirded me out, but now I'm used to it. I don't really know why it does that. Like, I don't think the train was late necessarily, but it always eventually shows up, so. We didn't have any special tickets or anything. We were just in the steerage section. And I remember being like, oh yeah, there should be plenty of seats. I think I'll say that later, but plot twist, there were not. And we ended up, me and Abby ended up having to sit on like opposite side, or in opposite rows, you know what I mean? Like I sat on the outer seat of.
Passenger attention please.
I'm sorry. It's okay.
Yeah, so I ended up sitting on the end of one row, and she ended up sitting on the end of the other row, as you can see. But it wasn't the end of the world. The conductor came by though, and he was like, because I had like the ticket was just a little scanny thing that I bought online. So he was like, you guys should probably sit together. And the guy who was sitting next to Abby was like, oh, I'm getting off soon anyway, so you can just have my seat when I do. So that was nice of him, and it ended up working out. But actually, these two ladies were like trying to let us sit together. It's that row that I'm looking at now. No one was sitting there at all. But then this guy just like walked in and sat down before me and Abby could, so. But yeah, Philly always looks pretty when we're passing by it. So yeah, like I said earlier, the train ride is just like an hour and 45 minutes. It's a little bit faster than if you drove, because driving it takes like 2 hours with no traffic. So yeah, it is fun to ride the train. I like seeing all the abandoned buildings and stuff too that we always go by, because I like to do the urbex, though I don't really go out and do it all that much anymore, but they're just fun to see. I don't have to risk getting arrested. But yeah, it's always weird seeing like, there'll be a bunch of abandoned buildings right by the train tracks, and then there's just like houses, or sometimes there's even like nice apartment complexes that are by the train tracks too. But generally, I mean, obviously people don't really build expensive things next to train tracks, because no one wants that, right? Yeah, I will warn you that if you're sensitive to flashing lights, there will be some strobing effects in this video a little bit, just from the sunlight shining through things and stuff like that. Only for the train sections though, so if you still want to watch the video but you can't do the strobing lights, it shouldn't really be that frequent, but I guess like you could just skip to after I get off the train. I hope the little snippets of the sound from the video aren't annoying either. I tried to adjust the volume so that they would be the same volume as like me whispering, so they wouldn't be, or like even a little bit quieter. But I just thought it would enhance the ambiance of this video or whatever. Yeah, there's the flashing sunlight a little bit. At this point we are in New Jersey. I always think those trains are kind of cool, like the double-decker trains. Apparently New Jersey has them, but the surrounding areas do not. So I've never actually been on one, but they're pretty interesting. I thought this was a nice little picture. Kind of aesthetic, I don't know. Same with this. Nice reflection shot. Did a little hair check. The train is so like bumpy though. We ended up hitting like a bump or an uneven rail, yeah, like that, an uneven section of the railroad, and I just fell into the wall. I finally got to wear rings for once. Like, I like wearing rings and I have a bunch of them, but the job that I have, we're not allowed to wear rings at all, so I pretty much never wear them. But I was doing that like the whole day, spinning that one big pearl one around my finger. Who needs a fidget spinner, am I right? And that's my Ogata phone case. Any Golden Kamuy fans out there, leave a comment below. I just got to the to the like last couple of chapters, and I feel some type of way about that. But also not. Anyway, so yeah, we're just going through. I think we're still in New Jersey at this point. I mean, we're gonna be in New Jersey the whole time, so like, I don't know why I'm saying that, but yeah, so indeed, running out of things to say. I mostly just listened to music the whole train ride. For some reason, like, I rode the train when I went on a trip to England, and it didn't, or like, I even ride the subway in New York City sometimes, and it doesn't bother me, but like, being on the Amtrak train makes me feel like, not really like motion sick, but like, the very tiny little beginnings of it, I guess. So like, a lot of the times when I wasn't filming out the window, I had like my eyes closed, just because that helps, I guess. I know it feels like the motion that I'm sensing in my head and what I'm I'm seeing just like isn't lining up completely. Like it's just slightly out of sync or something like that. It's like that kind of weird feeling. But yeah, I don't know if it's because the tracks are kind of shitty or like what it is, but the train was surprisingly bumpy. This is the airport. Kind of boring, but also kind of cool looking. I don't know. I thought I would have more stuff to ramble about, because I'm usually pretty good at, like, rambling, but I don't know. It's just a train ride. I do like the scenery, though. I really wish the window was cleaner, so you could just, like, see out the window and not, like, have that hazy effect that it kind of has. But is what it is, I guess. Finally made it to the station. I was just illustrating how much I had to duck when I got up from my seat, and I'm not even like exceptionally tall, but I think it's funny. I'm pretty sure I hit my head too at some point, but so we got off at Newark train station. That's Newark, not Newark. If you know the area, then you know. I think that kind of pronunciation thing is kind of funny. I didn't fix this. Oops. It's too late now. Yeah, I thought this is Newark Penn Station, not to be confused with the Penn Station in New York City. Yeah, but I thought the design of it was kind of cool. Like the way it looks kind of 1920s-ish with the little like designs and stuff. That lady's outfit was something else. But I liked how like the tracks are listed above the doors. I don't know if I ever held the camera still for more than 2 seconds, you'd be able to see it probably, but yeah, I thought this was a nice looking station. It's a lot like the ones in New York City, which isn't really a surprise seeing as it's right by New York City, but yeah, it's kind of cool how they have all those like restaurants and stuff. I thought the information desk there was cool, and then I saw the windows and I was like, that's cool. And I saw the mural or the walls and I was like, that's cool. And then I like the ceiling there. You can't really see it that well though. How the pigeon was funny, I don't know. So this is Newark. Not the destination, but that's, like I said, where we got off the train to then take an Uber, because the next stops would have been like in New York City. And I don't know, maybe it probably would have been cheaper than the Uber, but it just seemed kind of stupid to like, instead of just going straight, go to the left and then back to the right and out again. Me and Abby were debating what those buildings were. Like, she thought they were apartments, but I thought like maybe it was a factory complex and they just made it look kind of cheerful. Because like, who has an apartment building without balconies? Like, it's so weird. But yeah, some of the houses in this area were pretty cool. The little like townhouses. I think that's just a parking garage. Yeah, well those aren't that cool, but I really liked like that pink one. I liked the arch over the door and that kind of thing. I don't know if you can tell, but when I was younger I wanted to be an architect, and I used to like sit around and draw house floor plans and stuff. But then that was when I was probably in like 4th or 5th grade, slides and stuff too. It's called American Dream, which is kind of generic, I guess. Yeah, I think it's a mall though. Me and Abby wanted to go there, like at some point, but I don't know if we ever will. And of course we hit the classic New York City traffic, which we ended up puttering along in for a while. Abby saw a hot truck driver. The hot truck driver also saw her, so that was a little saga right there. But yeah, like I said, I kind of felt bad. So we finally made it to Tenafly, and there are some ritzy-ass houses around here, let me tell you. That's not a house, but you know, you get the idea. So, I had to slow down the video so that you could actually, like, see the houses. So I hope it's not too annoying. I really like that one. But it's weird how it's sort of like a mix of, like, just any style of nice house that you could imagine. Like a Tudor style, like a McMansion, like an ultra-modern one. And of course they were all next to, like, inevitably you go past, like, a bunch of multi-million-dollar houses, and then next to them would be, like, an apartment complex. I thought that was a little ironic. But yeah, I slowed down the video so you could actually see the houses. You still kind of can only slightly see them. But, you know, I do like houses, so. And that's not a house either. That's a nice house, though. But yeah. I can't imagine living in one of these houses, though, because New Jersey isn't exactly known for having cheap property taxes, so. But they are very nice looking. In one of these houses, there was like a Victorian house that I went by, and of course I didn't get it on video, but it had like a third-story dormer type window, and looking out of it was a really big doll and then a gorilla stuffed animal that was like the same size as the doll. I just thought that was really weird. And of course this is like September, so it wasn't even like Halloween themed. It was just like, hey, let's put something creepy in the window and laugh at the idea of people seeing it being like, what the fuck? Which is exactly what I did, so. Yeah, but I wish I'd gotten it on video, but it was literally just like, I glanced out the window, was like, what the fuck? And then it was gone, so. It's a nice area, though. There's like a little, I mean, right now there's just like houses and medical complexes and stuff, but there's a nice little like downtown kind of area, which we're getting into now. Not really like a city, but just like sort of a nice area. Some of the buildings had cool details on them. It definitely like looks like an older town, you know what I mean? Like not like all brand new construction, though some of the houses obviously were. When we were driving through here the other time that I went for my tattoo, there was literally like just a deer standing in someone's front yard. I have questions about that place, the Christian Science reading room. Like, what exactly does that mean? But yeah, there's just like a deer eating, like grazing. That is a house. Just a deer grazing in someone's front yard. I mean, like, that happens in my area too, so it's not really that weird, but like in broad daylight, it's kind of weird. I don't know. I thought it was funny. Of course, I didn't get a video of that either, so. But yeah, lots of nice houses again. I like the modern houses, but it's kind of weird to see them sandwiched in between, like, different style houses, like older style ones like that aren't, like, hyper-modern looking. Okay, we're finally getting into the area where the tattoo studio is. I always think it's funny when you come to New York, like, you see that person in there in the booth, like, the people will come and pump your gas for you. Like, you don't just get out of the car and do it yourself. It's weird. Like, I got gas in New Jersey one time, and I had to be like, oh yeah, I can't was surprised that there were so many like Korean and Chinese businesses in the area. Like this. Since I'm in school for like, I'm in like medical school basically, like not to be a doctor obviously, but I always think stuff like this is interesting, to say the least. But yeah, I was surprised. So we went to go get mochi donuts. In this place, I'd actually seen it the first time we were there, but we didn't go in. Then we like walked around in circles looking for it, because I could have sworn it was like in a different place, not here. But I was actually kind of embarrassed filming this whole time. Like, not when we were just walking down the street, obviously, but even when I like the cute little drawings. Those ones too. But like, even when we were walking down the street, I had Abby make a video of like my outfit again, which didn't work because I thought this place was really cool. It has this like celebrities painted on it, obviously. I'm sure anyone can tell that. It's called like Celebrity Bagels or something like that. What's it say? Yeah, Celebrity Bagels. And obviously all the sandwiches were like named after celebrities. I thought that was ice cream. And I was like, wow, this place has ice cream, that's crazy. But then I realized that it was cream cheese and not ice cream. So, kind of misleading there. So I got a coffee flavored and a blueberry flavored mochi donut. I was saving them. I think I actually ate one right after that, but I got one to like bring home with me basically. And Abby got just like a pizza bagel. It was pretty good. And she got the bubble tea too. I actually made us go back because I like boba, but I don't really like drinking it because I'm always afraid I'll choke on it. So I just wanted like the cup, so I got a tea. This bagel was so hard to cut. It's insane. It just did not want to cooperate at all. But yeah, so I literally just got like a tea so I could have the cup. But then like the boba wouldn't come out of it, so I ended up just throwing it out when I got home anyway. Gave up on cutting it. But yeah, we were just like, I thought that light was cool. Kind of random, but we were having so much fun just like eating and talking and making little videos and shit that I actually forgot that I had an appointment. And I didn't remember until literally like 12:15 or something, and my appointment was at 12:30. So I was like, oh shit, we gotta go. So I hustled us out of there, and it was literally like 1,000 feet down the road or something from where we were, so it wasn't like, I ended up not being late, but I think I only got there like 10 minutes early, and I usually get places like way earlier than that, like, I don't know, like 20 minutes early. So I wasn't late, but I was just like, bro, how could I forget about my appointment, the entire reason that we were there. I really like the decor in this tattoo studio. This is Lighthouse Tattoo Studio, in case it wasn't visible for long enough on the door. But yeah, I really like the paintings and like all the decorative stuff they have. Obviously that was just like a jewelry display because they do piercings too. Dentures. Yeah, I just thought that like all the knickknacks and stuff like that were really cool. Especially like the payphone. That giant skull. What is that even supposed to be, like a saber-toothed tiger? So this is the artist that I went to. That's her name on Instagram too, if you want to look her up. Her name's Julia though. Yeah, so at this point, like, I got to the studio, checked in and all that stuff. I thought the ceiling was nice. I like molding like that. Kind of random, but you get the idea. Every time I made like a video, like I thought I was done making a video of the surroundings, but then I was like, oh, there's actually this cool detail I didn't get. So after a little bit, I went back to get the stencil on, and this was Julia's station. It was really cool. I liked all her decorations and stuff, especially that like pink cow that's in the bottom there. I think I zoom in on it in a second. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, that was cute. Abby was butt typing on Reddit. She was like, oh god, I didn't post anything, did I? I just thought that was really funny. She printed out the stencil and then she was like, this is way smaller than the other one, so she had to reprint it again. Because originally the size of the design was like a little smaller than what I got, so I was like, oh, you can make it bigger, I don't mind if it like wraps around my arm a little bit. So we did. I hope you're enjoying this shot of my stomach. Lots of nice moles there. If you can see that pistol tattoo, I actually had I had a place so that the trigger guard was around that mole.
You should do videos like that. I always think about like the things that can make you money. Like,
Yeah.
oh my god. Okay, we're at the convention and I'm tattooing clients I've tattooed forever.
Yeah.
And we're like, they're both fucking hungover, okay? But they're getting matching cherub tattoos.
Oh, that's cute.
And this guy fucking comes up to my client and is like, wow, I like your tattoo on your ankle, like on your foot. He's like, can I take a picture of it? And she like had to think about it. She's like, a free
foot picture.
foot pic. Yeah. And she's like, no. She's like, if you want, you can pay for it. But like, I was like dying.
Did he do it? Oh,
He's
that
so
was
awkward.
funny.
I was like, who else to take a picture of someone's feet in public?
I hate that.
Oh my God.
And like, you know what? I was thinking about if I were in that situation, how I would have been like, okay,
Yeah.
and like found my feet pic somewhere,
Oh
like,
my God.
because I just don't think like that. But they thought like that, and I'm like, oh, you're so right.
Yeah.
Stand straight for me.
Feet fetish lid.
I know. I was like, this is like not cute at all. Okay.
By the way, I got permission from Julia to film in the studio and for her to be in the video and everything, so yeah. But I ended up getting a little touch up on my bottom one as well as getting the top one tattooed. If you know anything about art anatomy, you can see that the bottom one doesn't have the inferior vena cava and the top one does, that little like noodle looking thing coming off of it. And the reason is because she accidentally forgot to tattoo it on the bottom one. But then I was like, it looks like macaroni anyway, so just wipe it off and just forget about that. I'll just keep it on the top because it wasn't labeled on the bottom. I mean, I'm sure it wouldn't have looked like actual macaroni, but if I had like actually gotten it tattooed, but yeah, I just thought that was funny. Don't worry, I'm gonna fast forward through some of this later on. But Julia's really cool, and we had a lot of funny conversations and all that stuff. We talked about like anime and like just random stuff, I guess, honestly. But the whole thing ended up taking about like 3 hours. I didn't like time it or anything. Ugh, this video looks so hazy. I don't know what it is with iPhone cameras and just looking like they're covered in hazy shit all the time, but
Shit is like so intense. I think this is like one of the most intense art tattoos.
Yeah.
It's also
she was saying how it's like intimidating tattooing, like a anatomical medical diagram that's so detailed as my tattoo on like a person who's studying that, because I'm going to school to be a cardiovascular ultrasound tech. So like, if she messed up, I would obviously be like, that's not the right atrium, that's the left atrium.
I'm moving too much. I feel like I'm moving.
like, if you are,
I feel like every time I say like a single word, like my whole body just like bops up and down.
I don't know, like I said, it was so weird, because like I'm talking and whatever, and it feels like every time I like say a single word, like my whole body like moves around, but apparently I wasn't moving at all, so. The camera, on the other hand, is moving a lot. Where's the lie, though? Am I right?
What I said before, Kirisaki is the name they use for Jack the Ripper. Cause it's like Kirisaki Jack. Because they used to just say like Jack the Ripper, but then when they decided they liked him a lot and they were gonna keep mentioning him, they gave him like a more Japanese name. I think Kirisaki means like cut and slash or something like that. It's gonna be all videos of me making stupid faces.
I don't even remember how we got onto that topic of Jack the Ripper, but. The first one's free, you gotta pay for the second one, though. I couldn't resist since we were literally talking about book pictures earlier. I look like I'm about to fall asleep or something.
Does that hurt?
You didn't feel pain anymore? Like, somebody touched you.
I know, it's a little sharp.
Arms are probably so much easier than like legs. I mean,
Wait, doing side to side.
Let's like the video.
Oh. I can vote for a video.
Yeah, it didn't really hurt that much. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably give it like a 3 or something. I don't even like remember what it felt like, honestly, so. Compared to like my sternum or that pistol on my shin, you can kind of see that one. I actually read a book through that, but then when I like stopped paying attention to the book and started paying attention to the tattoo, it wasn't super, it hurt a lot. This reminded me of like a Renaissance painting for some reason, so I edited it into a Renaissance painting.
Liney.
This was before the shading was done, I think, or like I think the Superior Beanie Cava there is shaded, but for the most part there's no shading yet, so like halfway through, or maybe like 3/4 of the way through. And there's the finished product. 3 some hours later. Got to get up for the first time in like 3 hours. So there's a shitty picture of what it looks like. Post-tattoo chill. And then the post-tattoo photo session. My face didn't end up being in any of them anyway, so just kind of standing there, messing with my ring. I don't know if I included a picture. I don't think I did, of like what the tattoo looks like after. But in my next video, the curry poisoner one, I'll show it up close. So we went back to the mochi donut place because I wanted to get that tea that I was talking about so I could have the cup. And also just get more donuts, honestly. Abby got another tea. She got like the ube one. I thought that sign was ironic because like 2 seconds before this she like choked on one of the boba things, the tapioca pearls. She got what is that, like a ramen corn dog thing, like one of those like Korean ones. Are they Korean? I don't know. Or was it I think it was half mozzarella stick, half corn dog or something like that. Seems like it was pretty good. I think it was kind of spicy too. I didn't get to try it though because I didn't really want to. I thought that sign was funny. I care, I care. I was joking about how this was the seedy underbelly of Tenafly that no one wants you to see, but it was literally just like one street off the main street. And later on, there was this family came by in this vintage, like this 1940s or something, Mercedes.
Nice. It's gonna be a video of Tile.
And it was like the dad and the son in the front seat and then the mom in the back seat. And as soon as they turned the corner, I just pointed at them and shouted, "I like your car!" Abby said that the dad and son looked like gratified and the mom like looked annoyed.
Actually, no, you're going with
Thought that was funny.
Yeah, I don't buy
A
anything.
whole lot of things. I already have donuts.
Cactuses. I like cactuses.
I might have to buy it.
Spoiler alert, I did not buy a cactus. I had some nice orchids here. My mom really likes orchids, so I took some pictures of them. Even though I'm pretty sure she has both of those orchids already. Some white dahlias, those are really pretty. I took some pictures of them too, but I don't know, they're not that satisfying. If I had my DSLR, they'd be much better. And she bought something.
Am I doing too many kissy faces in these?
Nah, I made a bunch of weird faces too. Oh shit, let's go.
Being in New York City, I got into the habit of like just crossing the street whenever it's clear, and I kept like dragging Abby across the street. I was like, "Oh yeah, do a cheese pull," and this is what we got. Not exactly the most flattering pictures ever. In this park we actually went to the first time. This is across the street from that former train station cafe that we got dropped off near earlier. This is a huge weeping willow, and we actually took some pictures inside of it before the last time I was here, which I'll put. I hit my head on a branch. People carved the tree up, of course, which is like pretty unfortunate, but I guess it's thriving, so yeah, these are the pictures. I'm doing some high fashion shit or something. I was jumping out of the tree. I was about to leave, the tree, and then I heard Abby be like, "No, wait," and then she did. Wait for it. Wait for it. She did that. But yeah, it's a pretty cool tree. It's probably been there for like who even knows how long. So we're on our way back home now. More cool houses. Our train was at like 6:30 or something like that, and my tattoo appointment got finished at like 4. 4, maybe it was like 3:30. So we like wandered around a little bit, and then I was like, oh yeah, I should probably call an Uber. We still had like an hour and a half before the train was supposed to leave, but of course, that New York City traffic, and it ended up being like a really close call, because I usually like to get places early. Like I'll get somewhere, like to a train station especially, I'd usually get there like no less than half an hour early. Just like, oh, you know, what if there's traffic, or like what if there's whatever, like what if the train comes a little early. But yeah, we got to the station like 10 minutes to spare, and I was just like, I got really drowsy in the car ride, so when the times that I wasn't falling asleep, I was like low-key kind of freaking out, because this train was actually sold out completely, I think. So it's safe to say that other trains after it would have probably been sold out and would have been like really expensive to buy tickets to. Did not want to miss it. And this time I learned my lesson, and I looked through the windows like as the train was stopping to find 2 empty seats, and then like got in the car and walked to them, and so we ended up being able to sit together. And so yeah, the sun was setting at this time. It was really pretty. Of course, we were sitting on the not west side of the train, right? The sun sets in the west, so we didn't get like the full those houses had turrets. I really like turrets, like those round parts. Nothing like a nice round turret, am I right? But yeah, my bubble tea was sliding off the tray table. It was about to fall. That actually happened twice. It just randomly like started sliding. I thought it was really pretty out. Just something so aesthetic about like being on the train. I don't know. Of course, it would be better if I had like a perfectly aligned, like a picture perfectly aligned with the window frame, like you see on Instagram. But the window frames also weren't aligned with the seats. Yeah, so I don't know if you can tell, but I have like the second skin on there. That's why it looks kind of bubbly, like the Tegaderm bandage or whatever. So the sunset was really pretty. I'm sure it would have been prettier like on the side where the sun was setting, but you know, I really like the whole like purple sky with the pink glow kind of look that we got going on here. Of course, there's Philly again, the same view as before. I don't know, there's something so aesthetic about like this bridge and the water and the city in the background. It's kind of funny how that car is going the same speed as us too. But yeah, so, and that's Boathouse Row, I think that's what it's called. Those houses are always lit up like that. It's pretty cool. So at this point it was like 8 or something. I think we ended up getting back at like 8:45 or 9 o'clock even. And it wasn't like I showed the time on the dash, it was like 8 a.m. when we left. I think the train was at 8:30. But yeah, I actually got up at like 6 a.m. that morning so I could eat breakfast and all that stuff, and it was just so early. Like I think I stayed up until 2 a.m. before, because I just suck at going to bed early. So yeah, we were both kind of tired at this point. We made it back, and I forgot how to film. yeah, sorry for saying random stuff half the time. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of a ramble video, so that's what you do in a ramble, right? But yeah, if you like this video, please leave me a like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. And I'll be posting a true crime video again soon, back to the regularly scheduled programming. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye. Cars go soon.